I guess we are live now. Well, welcome everybody. It is Friday. Yep, Friday, November 16th. And guess what? We are less than 1 week away from Thanksgiving. Wow. That's amazing, isn't it? I think it's really amazing. I think it's kind of pretty I don't really understand much of it, why time goes so fast. I mean, it used to be like people would say that, time went fast because that's, it just happens. You got older and time went faster. Well, you know what? I don't believe that. I think that it's really pretty simple. If you think about 1 day at a time, time will go slower. But anyway, I'm Dave Fanale. This is episode 20. That's right. We made 20 episodes so far. Have not missed a week one way or the other. May have been late. May not always been at 11 o'clock. We're a little bit late today, but here we are, episode 20. And today we're talking about three major topics, right? So I'm just going to take my hat off because I don't need it. We needed it yesterday with all the great snow we had on here. And I heard some people aged about a year yesterday or several years going home in the great snow we had. But this is episode 20. It is Friday. It is the day after the early snow that people who would take 15 minutes to get home took them 3, 4, and 5 hours to get home. I hope everybody's made it home by now. Great thing about me is I was working here last night, yesterday, so I really didn't go out. I did go out for food, but I got back safely. Anyway, episode 20, which is Real Estate Talk, TGIF. Thank God it's Fanale. Yep, that's my last name, but it's also Friday. So that's why we're here. So anyway, we're going to talk about three things. Why are real estate agents late to everything? Are real estate agents egomaniacs? And as a real estate agent, what do you really want? What do you want? So I don't know how to really answer the last question, but I know how to talk about it. So let's dive deep into some things here, okay? So when we're talking about agents and we're talking about your business and your livelihood, there's meetings that go on all the time, and it just seems that you're late. I remember being at an event recently, and the two people had come in to do a presentation. It was going to be a 30, 40-minute presentation about something. Hold on one sec. And they were sitting there. It was the time it was supposed to start. Let's say it was noon, and there's nobody there. Someone walks out and says, "Hey, guys, don't worry. Don't worry about it. I mean, real estate agents are late to everything." Well, let's see. Are you late to your appointments? Are you late to closings? But if you're late to company events or office events or training events, why are you always late? I don't get it. I really don't. I always knew that if I was late, it was disrespectful. I knew that if I was late, I was taking advantage of someone else's time. And I just don't freaking get it. I don't understand why real estate agents are always late. When I had my brokerage for 21 years, I would have office meetings. And people would come in late all the time and expect me to start over if I had started already, or they'd expect me to wait. Or some would say, could you go through what you already went through so I can catch up when they get there 30 minutes late for a 45-minute meeting? It's such crap. I just don't understand it. But why? I need someone to answer me. I know there's a couple people on. I know there's going to be other people on. Why are real estate agents always late to almost everything? You're not late to pick up a check most of the time. You get to the closing on time most of the time. You're able to be at appointments on time. But why are you late to everything else? I don't know. Maybe it's just like, what? We don't learn that in licensing school. And I know brokers don't teach it. Can anyone answer that question? I'll sit and wait. No, I'm not going to wait anymore. All right. So that is my first question of the day of episode 20. So my next question has to do a lot with the postings I see on social media. People post their homes for sale. They post their new listings. They post their sales with maybe pictures of customers and stuff. And I get that we're proud of the work we do We're proud of helping people. I've seen one agent postings over the past couple of months, and I've actually been watching this agent as to what this agent has been posting. And up until recently, I think the last few days, every post was so egocentric, right? So egocentric. Hello, Frank Rinaldi, my old buddy from Pennsylvania. You're usually early to everything. You're right. When we would play golf, you were always early. At least I was on time. Thanks, Frank. Thanks for tuning in, Frank, by the way. And Ben as well. So egos. So postings I see, and I got to come right at the thing that really bugs the crap out of me is when people say they're so blessed to have had a sale. Come on, blessed or are you doing your job? Which is it? Okay, so I may offend some people today. Really don't care. But the point is you have to understand that your postings are not about you. Well, they are about you because they're to build business. They're not to sound egocentric, and most of them are. You know, you post a picture of just sold in 28 days, and you got this writing all over the image. No one really gives a damn that you did that. I mean, it's nice that you did it, and it's part of what you can talk about in a listing presentation. But unless you're using that as a specific marketing piece on your business page, it's a bunch of crap, really, because nobody wants to see it. Because if you look at who's sharing it, nobody's sharing your how great you are. No one's people are liking it. You know who's liking it? Your friends that are all real estate agents, or your family and your other friends who aren't real estate agents. They're the ones, but they're not. It's not making the point that you're great at what you do. And I know you are great at what you do. So think about the postings, right? What would be better? Direct message me. I'll tell you exactly how to craft those postings and how to make them, make them addable, right? That's a new word. That's a new word. Write that one down. Addable. ADABLE. Addable. Definition from the Dave Fanale dictionary is really simple. A post or piece of content you can use in an ad. Addable. Great word. Glad that came up. That just came out of my head. That's pretty good, right? So, but the postings are so self-centered. They're so egocentric. And it's a lot of crap. If you were to write a story about somebody on how it happened, or talk about, your expertise, but not in an ego way. As I said, direct message me or call me. All my information is on my profile. It's all there. Call me. I mean, this is what I do. This is what I do. I do my best to help as many as I possibly can. And these posts are just, oh man, they're driving me crazy. I saw one post that I'd use this in one of my classes in one of my coaching sessions about someone close to them or a friend of theirs bought a house from somebody else, some other agent. And then everybody in the thread was just amazing. It was absolutely hilarious, saying, oh, screw them, or you can't trust family and friends, this, that, and the other thing. They should know better. Just walk away. Don't even think about it. They're not your friend anymore. Well, that's a lot of crap too. Why? Because you didn't do your job. That's why they bought it from somebody else. That's why you're bitching and moaning about it. You didn't do your job. How? Staying in touch with them, making sure they know you're an expert. I recently did an interview with a good friend of mine and client and agent and professional broker owner, Justin Smith of Remax in Fort Lee. And he said, your contact with your sphere of influence has really nothing to do with business. It's being a human being, right? So Justin and I worked on that a lot. Hello, Anthony. How you doing? And the point is that if you can be a human being and be nice and use that thought process in your postings, man, it's going to be so much worth people looking at it. They're going to share it. If it comes from the heart, it's going to work. Now, here's the thing. Men and women are a lot different, as you know. Men think with their head, women think with their heart. Men need to get a little bit more out of their head and into their heart, and women just a little bit out of their heart and into their head. So that's topic number 3. And now we're going to go into topic number 2. As many of you know, I've worked with a lot of different coaches in my real estate career over the past 22, 23 years. That's just in my broker ownership real estate career. because I've been in real estate since 1980, first licensed in 1976. But I've worked with a lot of different great people. And, some people, you lose touch with, or you don't talk to a lot. And I want to talk to you about really what, your life is really all about. And really it's, what do you really want? What do you really want? What do you want in the business? What do you want out of life? And what are your self-limiting thoughts? I recently was at NAR convention in Boston, Massachusetts. Great city, great sports city. Not that I'm a fan of any Red Sox or I wasn't going to say that, any Boston team, but they are great sports teams. They're fantastic. You don't have to you don't have to like them to not root for them, but I like them. I just won't root for them. But anyway, as I digress. And one of the things they talked about is stop self-limiting beliefs. They went on to talk about fear that they have about different things. And that was kind of a oxymoronish because they talked about get rid of your self-limiting beliefs. And then they talked about fear, which is a self-limiting belief. Anyway, so what I know is that there's been a lot of times in our lives where we have had problems getting into new things, like, and I talked about people I work with. So there's been a couple of posts in the past couple of days from a former coach of mine and friend, John Chapman. And you know what? This stuff's great. If you know John is 10 years sober, and he talks about it. And there's a lot of things I've learned from John, and the things I'm going to point out are things that he's taught me that I've used, and it's that I've used in life and I try to use every day. And it's not that I'm taking his stuff and using it. I'm telling you where it came from, and it's just great stuff. And I use it in a different way that he puts it out there, and so, it talks about when life is shitty, look in the mirror. Yeah. Responsibility. You're responsible for everything that you do. If you don't have the business that you want, look in the mirror. That's where it comes from. I do it every day. Look, wasting time is our biggest problem. Procrastination is my biggest problem. I should have a PhD in time wasting and procrastination because I'm good at it. No, I'm the best at it. And I won't teach that. And I don't teach it. And I've begun, and I'm really getting good at practicing what I preach, which is organization, focus, self-discipline. When things happen to you, or things happen to others, or someone does something to you, or someone performs and acts out like they shouldn't, don't judge. Understand it, witness it, see what's going on, but don't judge other people. Because you wouldn't want them to judge you, but that's not the main reason. When we get into this judging thing, it's not a good thing. And don't judge yourself either. You don't want to beat the crap out of yourself physically, emotionally, or mentally, as people do. I mean, John talks about, what he went through a little bit, and knowing him for a very long time, I know his story really well. And I know he's told me what his family went through with him, and he would beat himself up for a long time. And that was one of the reasons there was an issue. Nothing's going to help you by beating yourself up or judging yourself. Being with people, different people. Another thing he talks about is if you're with people and they don't enhance your life and you can't enhance theirs in any way, you shouldn't be hanging out with them. Like I will work with anyone that wants to work. I don't want to work with people that can't enhance my life. And what I mean by that is they're just not doing the work that we agreed that they would do. And I just can't spend the time because it's a waste of my time and it's a waste of their time and their money. And honestly, I don't want their money. I mean, yes, I want to get paid for my expertise and my work and my coaching, but I don't want to get paid by someone who's just going to, be a yes man and yes me on our video calls. You need to set And I'm going to ask you right now, it's November 16th. There's a month and a half to go in this year. You need to set up new standards for yourself and new expectations. Because the question of this third part of this call, this live is, what do you really freaking want? Or effing just put whatever word you want in there. But what do you really want? And if you really want something more than you have today, set new expectations and set a new standard. That new standard begins now, not January 1st. It starts now. Like, for instance, okay, if you're a couple pounds overweight and you want to lose that weight, well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen if you wait till January, because we've got 6 weeks of the major eating season of the year happening. The eating season has started. Starts with Halloween, trickles through to November, and gets in real full force on Thanksgiving, which is November 22nd, less than a week away. So for me, wanting to get into better shape all the time, I'm picking my days, just like you should with food and everything else. But I'm not picking my days with my new standard. I'm setting a new standard every day for myself. Well, not every day, but I'm trying to keep the standard I've set for myself. And I'm not waiting until January 1st to do it. No way in hell. I'm starting every day a new day. See, that's a great thing. I thank God every day for waking up, because I've got a fresh new day to work. I've got that fresh new day. It's amazing. Like, if you remember, when you first got into this business and, you were meeting people for the first time, or you're meeting your broker, or meeting your coworkers, your other agents, and you felt like maybe you didn't fit. And you didn't want to ask questions because you didn't want to sound stupid. And you didn't know who to listen to. I'm going to tell you that 90% of us listen to the wrong people. If you listen to other agents in your office, you listen to the wrong people, because your broker's telling you about this and he's telling you about that. Mostly he's talking about building a list. And if he didn't, shame on him. Nope, I got a rant on brokers too. Your sphere of influence is the most important thing in your business. If you're not working it, maybe you need to see my thing called the SOI method. If you're interested in that too, just a selfless plug, go to whatistisoimethod.com. Anyway, so as we move forward here, we talk about the new year. We talk about, what do you really freaking want? Are you a goal setter? Do you hang out with smoke blowers? Again, some more stuff from John, right? Because he put it in the perspective today that I wanted to talk about anyway. So it's like, when you're working on something, like things will appear from like-minded people, right? So setting goals, right? If you want to close more transactions than you did last year, maybe that was 10 or maybe that was 20, and you want to close between 50 and 100. Are you hanging out with the people closing 50 to 100? And if you're probably not. You need to hang out with them. You need to go work with them. I'm not telling you to leave where you're at. I'm telling you to collaborate. It doesn't matter what company you're with. It really doesn't. And it doesn't matter whether your broker owner is helping you or not, your team leader, whatever it is. It's all up to you. It's not up to them. And if you're waiting for them to give you shit, stop waiting. If you're an order taker, I'm sorry. Talked about it yesterday. If you work with Zillow and you're an order taker, stop. Be a lead generator. Be a lead converter. If you're interested in more of this stuff, I work on this stuff every week in Real Estate Skill Builder, my program. If you really want to do more transactions, double your business, 5x your business, 10x your business, I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is hang out with the people that are doing what you want to do. They set a great example. Look, the two biggest problems that real estate agents have are mindset, which is focus, and organization. Two really simple things. And the last thing I want to say, aside and before I recap, is, are you living to work or working to live? We all know how it ends. If you're going to work to live, cool. But if you're interested in anything I've talked about today, whether it's posting and how to make them addable. That's a new word. That's my word. So if you see it in the dictionary soon, it's mine. Addable. Are you using your ego more than your more than a strategic post? Are you late for everything? Think about changing that dynamic of being on time and maybe early. Because remember, if you're late, you're showing an extreme disrespect for the person or persons or group that you're meeting with or going to see, or going to the office and you're going to an office meeting. I don't care if you don't like the office meeting. Maybe you think they're a bunch of crap. I don't care. But you committed to that company, whether you're an independent contractor or not. Show up and do the work, which means show up on time. If the meeting starts at 11, that means you get there at 11. And just as an aside, you know, they have traffic reports on the radio, on TV. Do you know why they have those traffic reports? Because if you've got a meeting at 9 o'clock or you need to be at work at 9 o'clock, it kind of tells you if there's a lot of traffic, you need to leave earlier. Not to use traffic as a freaking excuse. You get to work at 9:30. Oh, there was a lot of traffic. Well, I know you listen to the radio in the morning. I know there's traffic reports, and you know it's a responsibility to be on time. You need to make sure that there's no traffic. Okay? As Ben says, if you're on time, you're late. Absolutely correct. Grant Cardone says that, right? If you're late, you're disrespectful. Here's the thing. Be early for everything. If it's traffic, great. Now, yesterday, with the snow we had here in New Jersey, I'm not sure the rest of the East Coast, but it was horrendous because the ice was incredible. I was supposed to go down to an event in like 30, 40 minutes from here, and they canceled that. And it took people like hours to get home from 10 minutes. Anyway, I digress. So I want to be done here, but I want to thank all the people that are on, Sean, Frank, Anthony, Ben, and especially for some content today and the help he's given me over the years, John Cheplack. And I need to do some things there. But you know what? If you're a mom or a dad or responsible for someone, you're not going to be late. And you know what? You're going to do the best you can for them, for the people you're responsible for. Be responsible for yourself. Last thing I'm going to say, and I promise I'll be done because I've gone a little late here. There's 3 important things you need to worry about in your daily lives. It's family, business, and you, personal. And to put those in the correct order, yes, the correct order, family does not come first. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Personal comes first. You come first. You are number 1. Family second, business third. Why are you number 1? Because if you don't take care of you, you're not going to be able to give of yourself to other things, including your business. What does that mean? Take 5 minutes to yourself every day. Maybe wake up a half hour earlier than everybody else in the house. If you live by yourself, pretend. No, just kidding. Take the time. Take a deep breath in the morning. Meditate. I always thought meditate was kind of BS because I can't do it. But I take the 5 minutes and I either sit there in silence and stare out the window, pray, or think about what I'm going to do today in the best of ways and how much fun it's going to be. Take those 5 minutes for yourself, even if it's locking the door in your office for 5 minutes just to get away. Take a mental vacation. Take care of yourselves. Remember, ego is no good. Message me if I can help you with that. But on the other hand, go to reskillbuilder.com if you'd like to have a chat about anything I've talked about or anything else. So this is Dave Fanale, Real Estate Talk, TGIF, signing off. Thanks so much for your time. As my best friend Tigger says, TTFN, ta-ta for now.